Here are some tips for removing an automatic transmission from your car. So like many 60s and 70s era projects, our 68 C10 has a 3-speed automatic transmission in it. And in this case, it's a turbo 350 that's been adapted to this 5.3 LS that we've got in. And in the time that we've spent driving this truck, we have realized that 1, we really would like to have an overdrive, and 2, we would really like to be able to pull our own gears. So we are going to start the process here of removing this turbo 350 and replacing it with a Tremec TKX using a Speedway Motors adapter kit. The first thing we're going to do is drain the fluid out of the transmission, and it'll make the operation a little bit neater down the road when we pull the yoke out the back. And then while that's draining, we're going to take the dust cover off that's covering the flex plate and the torque converter so that we can get to those. And so the next things that we're going to do before we actually start taking things directly related to the transmission apart, we're going to start taking off all of this other stuff that's going to be in our way. And this is going to vary depending on what car you're working on. In our case, this exhaust is going to be in our way because it is going to interfere with us dropping the center of this crossmember. So we're going to take the exhaust off, and then we'll move on to sort of taking off some of the other ancillary stuff around the transmission. The next thing we're going to do is remove the drive shaft, and to take these U-bolts off of the yoke, either have it in park or we have it in neutral so that we can spin it around to get the torque converter off here in a minute. So we're just going to stick a drift up in here to kind of hold it so that we can get these nuts loose. In the next step, we're actually going to pull the drive shaft out, and if you haven't drained the fluid, then you're going to get a bunch of fluid that's going to leak out where the yoke comes out. So you can either drain the fluid like we did, or if you have a spare yoke laying around, kind of have that ready so that you can plug it in and it'll keep everything from running out the back of the transmission. Next up, we're going to take off these transmission cooler lines. This is going to look different if you have like hard lines that run up to the radiator. You'll just use a line wrench to run the fitting off. In our case, we just have these hoses that come over to this frame rail mounted cooler. So we're just going to pull the hose clamp off for now. And these will leak, so make sure you have your pan underneath them. All right, now we're basically to the phase where we're just going to disconnect everything, all of the lines, wiring, cables, anything that's connected to the transmission. So speedometer cable if you have one, shift modulator vacuum line, shift kickdown cable here. We're going to take off the dipstick tube where it's bolted to the bell housing. And then on the other side we have a cable shifter, so we're going to disconnect the housing and the cable for the shifter. If you have a transmission mount shifter, then obviously you'll need to deal with that. In our case, we have a cable shifter that's bolted to the floor, so we're just going to disconnect the cable and then we'll be ready to drop the transmission. The next thing we're going to do is separate the torque converter from the flex plate. And to get access to all of the bolts, we're going to use this flywheel or flex plate turning tool. And these things are really, really handy to have, both for tightening things where you're trying to keep the engine from rotating, and in our case, actually rotating the engine to get access to bolts. All right, we're to the point now where we have unhooked all of the peripheral stuff from the transmission. And it's a good time to kind of run around and check to make sure that you're not midway through dropping the transmission and realize that you forgot to unhook something. And so next up, we're going to do the bell housing bolts, and we're going to take all of them out but a couple that we're going to just leave snug until we're actually ready to drop the transmission. Depending on what you're working on, sometimes these are easy. These top bell housing bolts are easier done from above. Sometimes you do them from below and you have an extension this long with a wobble on the end. It's just gonna depend on what you're working on. In our case, we have pretty easy access from the bottom here, so we can just go ahead and take them all out from down here. All right, now that we have all but 2 of the bell housing bolts removed and the torque converter is separated from the flex plate, we're just about ready to drop the transmission. The first thing we need to do is support the engine, support the back of the engine so it doesn't drop into the firewall when we take the transmission out, and then we'll roll in our transmission jack, take out the crossmember. Before we do that, we're just taking one last check around the transmission to make sure we've disconnected everything that's going to hang it up on its way down. So cooler lined speedometer cables, you know how it is, you always forget something. So making one last close look, looking specifically for that, is going to help us to avoid having this hung up halfway down. So unless you have an engine with some sort of mid-mount situation, you're going to have to support the back of the engine before you take the transmission out, because as it is, your motor mounts are here, and then the rear support basically is the transmission mount. So when we take the transmission out, the engine's going to want to rock back, and any number of bad things can happen. In our case, our firewall is nicely finished and bodyworked. We don't want the valve covers or the intake manifold to conk into it. So there's any number of different ways to do this. I've always had good luck using a ratchet strap and just running the ratchet strap between the frame rails to hold up the oil pan. You know, if you use a stand or a floor jack or something there, then you're not able to reposition the truck. So this kind of holds it in place until you get a new transmission bolted up to the back of it. Next thing we're going to do is position our transmission jack and support the transmission so we can take the crossmember out. All right, so obviously we're working with our truck on a lift because we're lucky enough to have a nice lift here in the shop. Most of us at home don't have that, and we've all rolled around on our backs, sometimes in the gravel, dropping transmissions. If that's the situation, obviously these steps are all kind of the same, it just looks different. And one of the important things that you can't do when you're working that way is just pop the pad on the floor jack right in the middle of the transmission pan. There are transmission jacks that you can roll in underneath the car that have nice fingers that'll come up and support the transmission. If you don't have access to something like that, we sell this product here at Speedway Motors from TCI, and this is a little adapter, and this pin should go on most floor jacks in place of the regular pad. And then this will support the transmission pan hopefully without damaging it. And this is a kind of an economical solution to pulling a transmission to the floor jack if you don't have a dedicated transmission jack. These last two Bellhousing bolts that we left in to support the transmission we're going to take out, and it'll still be on the dowels, so we'll have to pull it back just a little bit to separate the torque converter from the sleeve that adapts it into the back of the crankshaft, and then get it off the dowels, and then we'll be ready to drop. That pretty much does it for the removal of our automatic transmission. Now is a good time to check and make sure that whatever you have holding the back of the engine is nice and secure. And if you're going to be going back up with just another automatic, typically you can leave the Flexplate here. In our case, we're swapping over to a manual, so the Flexplate is going to come off. But that's pretty much it for our automatic transmission removal.